Hello, everyone. My name is Lipika Mohanty. I'm a storyteller from Bhubaneswar, India. So today I'm going to tell an eco tale. So here goes my Kamishibai. Once upon a time, in a big river island, in the river Brahmaputra in India, there lived a boy who loved nature. The boy loved the plants and animals around him. He loved the beautiful river and especially his island. Everything around him was so beautiful. But each monsoon brought disaster to his island because the river would swell up and it will flood the villages in the island, causing destruction to life and property. And most importantly, it eroded away the top vegetative soil of the island, leaving barren sandbars behind. His hardworking tribesmen would try to rehabilitate, but many a times there have been the state of famine because it would be next to impossible to grow crops on barren sandbars. It was the year 1979 when the boy was just a 16-year lad. That year, the flood was in its full fury. There was massive destruction to life and property. Perennial trees were uprooted, and the cattle were swept away, and many lives were lost. People were in a state of despair. They couldn't think of what to do. There was devastation everywhere. As soon as the flood water has receded to some extent, the boy rafted around and went to look for their cattle. He moved from one sandbar to the other in search of their cattle. In one of the sandbars, what he saw, he was just shocked, for he found hundreds and hundreds of snakes lay dead on that barren sandbar. He couldn't believe his eyes that how could so many snakes have died at one point, at one place? But later he got to know that as the river had gushed down from the highlands, along with the debris, it had brought down all these snakes and had dumped them at one place. And thereafter, there had been 13 to 14 days of scorching heat, and all the snakes have scorched to death without shed and shelter. This boy wondered if animals could wither away without shade and shelter, what would happen to human beings without trees? He shared his concern with his tribesmen, and they agreed with him. And they had a discussion that it is very important to grow a new house for the animals. And a new house means growing a forest for the animals. But how can one grow forest on barren sandbars? Then someone suggested that perhaps the tall grass can grow. The boy wondered what is a tall grass. Then he got to know it is the bamboo, for bamboo is the tallest grass that grow on earth. So the very next day, he went to the forest department and he could manage to get only 20 to 25 saplings of bamboo plant. And he took those saplings and he canoed down the muddy river and he went in search for a suitable place to plant these saplings. He went here and he went there, and gradually, finally, he could find a place that he thought was suitable to grow the bamboo sapling, to plant the bamboo saplings there. So he chose that place and set out to do his work. And so the boy went on, he picked up one bamboo sapling and he planted it on one place. He planted one. Then he picked up another and he planted two. Then he took another sapling and he planted three. In this way, he went on planting all the saplings and he was very happy that he could do this work. The next very important task before him was how to take care of these saplings, because the place where he had planted these bamboo saplings was very far away from his house. So every day, early in the morning at around 4 o'clock, he will wake up and he will bicycle to the river bank, and from there he will canoe another 1.5 hours, and then he will reach the other side of the river. From there he will carry buckets full of water and will walk another 2-3 kilometers to reach the place where he has planted the saplings, and he will water the plants. And it was really a very difficult task for them to do it each day. He did it all throughout the year except the rainy season. His shoulders would ache, his hands would hurt, his legs would pain, but he did not give up because of his determination, perseverance, hard work, and discipline. He could manage to do that every day without giving up. Then he created a watering system whereby he kept earthen pots with a perforation at the bottom. So, where he poured water and the water trickled down to the small plants and kept it water for one whole week. In this way, he didn't have to water the small saplings every day. And for other big plants, he did it every day. In this way, he took care of the plants, and soon his plants grew to a thicket. And the boy was very happy with his achievement that he could manage to grow a thicket of bamboo tree. But then he thought, is this enough to keep all the animals happy? Because all the bamboo trees cannot give that much shade, and all the animals would love to stay in different big trees. So then he decided that he is definitely going to grow other trees. But to grow other trees means you have to make the land more fertile. So to make the land more fertile, he brought cow dung, termites, earthworm, red ants, and he dug the soil and mixed it with them to make a fertile land. And to do so, he had to do a lot of hard work, because the red ants on their way to their new home bit him badly, but he did not throw them away because he needed them to take to that place to make the land more fertile, because the red ants and the termites and the earthworm can aerate the land and make it more fertile. Then he collected the seeds and saplings from different villages, because near his house there were not many trees as the land was mostly barren. So he had to bring the saplings, the seeds from different places and started planting the island. And as he went on doing this every day, soon his hard work gave him good results, and it grew into a big forest. And as the forest grew, so grew the boy. And now he was a big man. And this man never stopped planting trees. Each day he would throw seeds here and there to grow new trees, and thus he went on growing a forest each day. And there are many different kinds of trees in his forest: the seal, the peepal, the banyan, the coconut. Every different kinds of trees were there in his forest. And the man was very contented with his work, and he never stopped his work for a single day. And soon wildlife came to his forest. There came the one-horned rhino, the migratory birds, and he was very happy to see these wild animals in his forest. And soon there were many more animals joined: the elephants, the deer, the migratory birds, the buffaloes, the chimpanzees, and different varieties of birds came to his forest. His forest just teemed with wildlife and greenery. But then there came a surprise. There came the Royal Bengal tiger. And now not many people were happy. They protested that, who knows, this tiger might wander into their villages and take away their cattle. And who knows, it might turn into a man eater. So they all told the man to chop down the forest. The man protested vehemently. He tried to convince them that without trees we cannot survive. It is so very important for the animals as well as for us. But people would not listen to him. They just wanted him to chop down the forest. Then, what he did, he tried to grow smaller plants and smaller trees and smaller bushes to attract small animals like the rabbits, like the deer, so that that will keep the tiger happy and the tiger will not wander into the villages. Similarly, he went on planting fruiting trees like the banana, the coconuts, the mangoes, and different kinds of fruiting trees to keep the elephants contented in the forest. And the elephants will not wander away into the villages and their farms to destroy to eat away their crops. And when people harvested trees to build a boat or to make a house or for any other purpose, the man immediately planted few more trees in that place. So people harvested, and this man went on planting more and more trees to keep the forest growing. Not only that, he protected the forest from poachers. Whenever he saw poachers coming to the forest, he stopped them and he fought with them and did not allow them to enter the forest. And in this way, this man went on planting trees, and in 30 long years, he had planted 1,300 acres of land, which equals to 900 football grounds. And he did it all by himself without anybody even aware of this. But one day, a wildlife photographer discovered him, and he told his story to the outside world, and the man came to limelight. He was awarded with many accolades, many titles, many prizes, and many interviews, and many things happened to him. And the government of India also conferred him with the one of the most highest civilian awards, that is the Padma Shri. And he was given many recognitions, but the most important title that he got and which is most popular is the Forest Man of India title, which was conferred by one of the universities in India where he had gone to give a talk. And the name of this man is JADAV MOLAI PAYENG, the forest man of India. And this man still lives amidst tall trees with the wild animals in the wild and still continues to plant, protect, and prune the forest. And he's been invited to many countries all across the globe to help people green their lands. And his story is there in the curriculum of many schools all across the globe. So that is the story of this man who selflessly and with determination, perseverance, and hard work could create a difference to the environment, keeping wildlife alive and keeping the place a balanced ecological place to live in. So this is the story of JADAV, MOLAI, PAYENG. And that is the end of my story. And thank you so much for listening to my story.